Hi, my name's Drew, and in this wide format workflow video we're going to discuss how to set up a double-sided yard sign with unique images on both sides. For this we have two different PDFs to start from. We have a back side and a front side, all unique. So they're set up, luckily on this for the demo, their page matches which slide they are. So we're going to drag these into Photoshop and make TIFFs out of these at first. Bring this in. So we'll shift select all of the pages here. Make sure trim box the right size. 100 dpi is fine for these, and CMYK mode since we are going to be printing these on wide format printers that are CMYK. So hit OK. It'll process all the sheets for you real quick. And we're going to use a script here that I'll delete this one and show you how easy it is to make. So under scripts here, in any folder or create a folder, you're going to hit create new. We're going to call this flatten. Flatten, and it's recording. So we're going to layer flatten this. Going to save as into a desktop folder. I don't know if I have one here. Let's create a folder called TIFF. Oops, wrong button. Save as again. We're going to save to our desktop. New folder called TIFFs. Okay. Now hit OK. Save. Yep. No compression. And then we're going to close the document, and then we're going to stop recording. So this here should, if I hit play again, should have just saved that slide 2 there. Let's double check that. Slide 1 and 2. So let's go ahead and process the rest of those real quick. Just hit play on each slide. So when it closes it, it's ready for the next file. It's a quick way to eat through a large stack of files, especially if they're all the same size and they're just unique images. I use this almost on a daily basis for production files. Clients send in huge TIFFs, or it works on any size too, because you're not designating a size. They can be different size images that you work this through. So select all those, hit OK. Process. These are all the back sides. So we're basically going to do the same thing. It's going to save it, same file. Just hit play, and we're going to work through all 15 of these, and they'll all be stored in that folder. And then we're going to jump over to Illustrator right here. We're almost done. And let's minimize this. Should have about 30 files in here. Yep. There we go. So in Illustrator, again, this is a common size that we use. So I know that 10 of these fit up on a 4-foot by 8-foot board. So a lot of times we have templates already built just like this. So when they come in, we already have registration marks set on our boards, and we also have cut lines already designating that 4-foot by 8-foot sheet. So I'm going to go ahead and place. I'm going to start with the front, and I'm going to go ahead and place. Let's see, desktop TIFFs, and let's see here, fronts. Let's drop this in. Let's get this positioned. Now I'm going to go ahead and just lay all these out using the same one, using a option drag. There. Just drag these to make duplicates all of the same one right now. I have smart guides on. It makes this much easier. It'll all snap to the lines and I have laid out. Now I'm going to go here. It's going to be number 2. I'm going to open up my links. If you can't find that, it'll be up under Window, Links right here. Once that's open, I have that selected. I'm going to go hit Relink, and I'm going to choose slide 2. And I'm going to go through and just quickly do this for the first. It's going to end up being 2 sheets to lay this out. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we'll have one more sheet that'll only have 5. It'll produce 5 blanks when we're all said and done. We'll just store those, and if we have some one-offs, we can run those. So here's our front side basically. Now we're going to check our layers. So it looks like our 3 layers, we're going to have to select these again, drag these to our artwork layer right there. So now that's all the artwork. The printer is going to see that as artwork. It'll see the registration marks here. They're around the edge. This is used for our digital cutter. Once it comes off the printer, we'll load it onto there. The machine has a camera. It will read those registration marks, and it'll cut out the parts based on these cut paths right here. These lines here tell the machine what to drag the knife around. I have basically a separator cut there, a separator cut here, and a perimeter cut all the way around. These sheets are not usually nice and square, so this just gets rid of any odd ends or uneven cuts that the sheet was set up at. So that's our file there. I'm going to go ahead and label this on our artwork layer. I'm going to call this 18 by 24 front. Oops, I'll call this set 1, and we'll call this the front. I know it looks tiny. We're going to enlarge it a little bit, flip it, put it outside of our cut path here. This gives us a little identifier. If this doesn't get processed right when it comes off the machine, it'll be easily identified. If somebody has to pick up and continue this job, they can find out the information. Normally we would put a job number, work order number in front of there so we can look at that off our server and just look those cut files up off our server. But for this demo, that's good enough for now. So we're going to save this as side 1. Let's go ahead and call this 1824 set 1 front. Save this as a PDF. We're going to save this right to our desktop here. Save. We're going to choose option Acrobat 8 and hit save. So you're going to run this through the machine. It's going to come back out, and we have to print the backside now. So what we're going to do is, to give you an idea, you're going to flip this from left to right. It's going to flop this direction. So if I were to go ahead and select everything and do a transform, you can get an idea that basically it's going to flip like this. So now you've got to put down your back sides, make sure it matches the fronts to 1, 2, 3, 4. So knowing that, that's how we're going to lay out the next side. Hit cancel. I'm going to go ahead and create a dummy layer. Turn off everything but the artwork. I'm going to grab this artwork here, put this on a dummy layer. I'm going to move this underneath the artwork layer just so I can use this as reference to make sure I have the backs on the right side. Once you get used to this, you don't have to do this step. This is just to help visualize what you need to lay out. So I can turn on all the other layers again. I'm going to go ahead and place the back sides now. So we go to our TIFF folder and 1. So I'm going to turn off layer 4 for right now. So I'm going to put 1 backside here. Make sure this is in the right position. Kind of the same thing. I'm going to drag these out and just shift drag to make duplicates, and then I'm going to relink them. I'll relink them in the link palette there. Let's switch this back out of outline mode. All right. There. Okay. So 1, we know this is going to be back 2. Let's go ahead and relink these. Hit link. Back 2. 3 this is pretty straightforward. Doesn't take that much time. I mean, if you already have this template set up, you're just basically dropping files in and then just relinking. Let's see. 7, 8. Nine, 10. Okay, I can double check here. Yep, 1, 9. So I'm going to delete that layer now. I don't need that anymore. That was just pretty much for reference. Registration marks can say the same, use the same cut path, and then I'm going to relabel this back. Okay, and I'm going to save this as set 1 back. Since we already have the back set up like this, though, we're going to go ahead and just save that. We are going to delete those because we have 5 more. And we're just going to go ahead and relink and do set 2 backside right now. So I'm going to make this number 11. Find our TIFF folder. Number 11 backside. There we go. 12, 13, 14, and 15 right here. Okay, I'm going to save this as set 2 back. Alright, same thing, save PDF, double check my layers, artwork, register, yep, and through cut. So again, we're going to leave these, you just get 5 blanks at the end, save them, or you don't have to cut those out. We just usually stack them, and then when we get short runs, we'll just load those through. So this one's saved. I'm going to go ahead and close that. I'm going to open up the first one again, set 1 side front, or the front side of set 1. And do the same thing. I'm just going to put the fronts 1 through 5, 11 through 15 on this side. So there. Okay. TIFF files 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 here. And that's, oops, you know what, I forgot to label that set 2, I believe. So save as, let's call this set 2 front. I go ahead and fix set 2 back, change that so go ahead and close these, and that's basically setting up the sheets. These PDFs are ready to run through production and go in through the printer, out the digital cutter, and to the client. So stay tuned for more workflow videos for wide format. Thanks for watching.